Hey tubers. Oh man, is there ever a nice way to remove bearings? I guess if you want to save them, you have to look for a nice way. But anyway, on my mower, last video you saw with that mower, I changed the clutch on it. Clutch is working great. And you know, I can still hear some roughness in the bearings, in the spindle bearings there, like in the tower. What do you call it? Shaft, blade shaft, bearing, spindle bearing. I just call it spindle bearing. So the bearing on top, as you can see, these guys are actually, they're fine, but while you're in there, you may as well change them out. So I'll pop those guys out. Those are the top ones. Underneath are the other ones, and they're the noisy ones. Like I said, I believe it was this one here, not this one, but the lower one was making a chirping every once in a while. And when I grabbed the blade and the shaft, you could feel play in that bearing. So there's only 4 bearings total on that deck, so no biggie. So here we go over here. I got one pulled apart already. It's, believe it or not, some of you guys who make YouTube videos, you realize it's a bit of a hindrance sometimes to pull that camera out because it's hard to get work done. But I'll dress the blades. What I usually do with the blades is I run them down the grinder. These ones I probably won't run down the grinder because there's no big nasty chomps out of them. And what I usually do is I'll run them down the grinder to knock those off, put an edge on, and then I'll finish them with a flat file. File is your friend. Right, Road King? File's your friend. Anyway, I haven't got to that yet. I will get to that. This one's done. I got the bearings pulled off. Like I said, 2 bearings. Bearing sits on the bottom down there. And then you got one that rides up top, which would sit up in here somewhere, actually in there. So that one's pulled off. The shaft is cleaned up. I checked the shaft for run out. No run out on that shaft. It's nice and true, so no worries there. Next one is this guy right here. So I'll, like I say, no nice way to do it. Take the blade off and then basically kind of set yourself up in the vise and just pound equally. I've tried heating these before, but it is so hard to get some good heat in there on the inner race. And like I say, if you're not saving them, what's the big deal? Who gives a damn? You're not going to put them back on. And I don't know anyone who pulls bearings off and puts them back on anyway. You usually you're going to put a brand new bearing on because a brand new bearing is $3. Let's just say $3. Yeah, you can kind of hear that. And that's just spinning with my hand. So once that harmonic, it kind of starts to harmonic when it's spinning real fast, and then it starts chirping, and it kind of it'll rack a little bit back and forth if you got play in there. So let's get that in the vise and get that off. All right, what do we say? Glasses. Get those glasses on. Come on, guys. Save your eyes. They're really, you know what your eyes are really important for? If you only got one, you got no depth perception. You got to have 2 for depth perception. Let's get a nut on here and let's set this up. And what we're gonna have to do is just, because I can't get anything to pry in there, and anything I did pry is gonna do about the same job anyway. Basically ruin the bearing as it's coming off. So like I said, we're not worried about saving that bearing. Let's get this guy moved here. Actually, sorry, let's get that blade off first. That's what we need to do. Let's get that blade off there. 9/16, I believe. 9/16. That was on there. That was on there good. It's nice to have an impact, but you know you can overdo it with the impact too. So there's another blade, same program. Grind it and file it. I file it because I like a nice, really nice finish. You don't have to do it. You can just grind it. You can use a file. Do whatever you want. So I just basically what I do is capture the arbor end of that shaft. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me just check on that camera. I don't know what it is with this camera. It's like I'm short of light or something around here. I'm gonna have to get an auxiliary light and just blast it down here for you guys. Anyway, it's captured that arbor top, that arbor piece of that shaft. That leaves the bearing free. I leave the nut on the bottom. See if I can show you guys that. I put the nut on the bottom here, and then I just use as a kind of a jack leg, and I just screw it down so it's snug. So when I'm pounding here, everything is nice and firmed up. So you get captured in the vise, and you're pushing against the top of the bench. So see if that makes any sense to some of you guys. Makes sense to me. But of course, I'm Ukrainian, so a lot of things will make sense to me. It might not make sense to you. I think I got you guys set up there good. Let's see. Let's get a punch. Hold on, guys. Just see. Hey, here we go. I just found it. I was just going to shut you off, but you don't have to shut you off now. We got a good persuader here. Nice ball peen. Who knows? Is there a way of telling how many pounds it is without, is it like marked on the head here somewhere? Anybody know? That's an old ball peen, by the way. I don't even know where I got that. Might have got it from my dad. Not too sure. It's heavy enough. They come in different weights, different sizes. What happens there? And then you just persuade that back and forth, and it'll loosen off. Tighten that vise up. Just back and forth, working it back and forth. Eventually it's going to come. I guess I could probably cut it off too if I wanted to. But for the sake of the video, we'll just do it a hard way. Coming now. It's obviously on there pretty good. The old back and forth action. When we put the new bearing on, we'll just press it on, or we'll just stick it on and find a collar to go around and just tap it down nice. Or I don't have a hydraulic press here, but you can use a lot of things as a press. Remember that? You could use the vise as a press if you wanted to. You want to go back and forth like that because you don't want to end up buggering up that shaft. The new shaft ain't going to be $10. Whoops. I'll show you guys off. I'm going to finish that job up. Actually, yeah. Let's leave you on. Why not, huh? You can watch the action right to the end. And then you guys can kind of catch it if I just adjust that nut up a little bit. You can catch it if I nail my hand real good. And you can all have a nice laugh. And yeah, we laughed. Don't want to cock that bearing sideways on that shaft and score that shaft. Makes it hard to put the new bearing back on. As it is, you usually have to emery up that shaft to get it back on, move it back on. There we go. There you go. They're usually, with these bearings and these shafts, they have a tight spot. You know, like it might be a thou or two thicker at the bottom end, and not so much on the rest of the shaft. So that's that. We take that off. That's your bearing. And you know what? Right now it doesn't sound noisy, but I can assure you it was noisy. Here's the other one. It is real rough. So, you know, like I was saying in that other video, the thing about bearings, you know, maintaining a lawnmower is you got to change bearings. When they start making a racket, you got to change the bearing. If you don't change that bearing, it ends up spinning on the shaft and scoring that shaft or wearing a groove in that shaft. Now, as it is, you can basically tell that I always keep up with this with bearings and maintenance. because on this shaft there's absolutely no high spot, no low spot, other than the the extra thickened edge to accommodate that bearing down there. So like I said, when you put the bearing on, you don't have to drive it the whole way. Back up for you. You don't have to drive it the whole way. You just got to come down to the snug spot and put your collar over, and have your collar just sitting on top of that. Usually, you can use a run-through socket if you want, if that's all you got. But set it on top of that inner race there, and push it home. And what's nice is it's basically already self-centered, so you're not going to cock it sideways by accident, if you know what I mean. I'm sure a lot of you guys have put bearings on. There goes a diesel by. You cock the bearing, and either you ruin the bearing or you you score the shaft. But anywho, that is that. So what do we got? I'm just going to clean this up. I pull the top bearings out, which is as simple as basically just just driving it back through the top side. Today is Friday. Today is Canada Day. So you know what that means? Nothing's open. Nothing's open, and so no bearings. So I won't be getting any bearings today. I'm not going to be getting any bearings till it's tomorrow, Saturday. Saturday. So I'll pick up some bearings Saturday, and probably Sunday. Saturday. I'm thinking of going to auction on Saturday. There's a Model T at an auction just like very, very close to me here. So I'm going to go check that out, and probably put those bearings on either Saturday, a little later Saturday, or Sunday, and finish up the project. And then you can hear it run, and you'll be amazed. Anyway, like I say, it's Friday. Hope you guys have a good, for all my friends in the United States, what will that be? 2, 3, 4. July 4th is Monday, so whenever I get this video up, it might not be till July 4th. So hope you guys have a great July 4th long weekend. We're having a great long weekend here. Ours is on July 1st because we're awesome. We're awesome. So ours was first, and yours was not. Sorry about that. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good night. July 4th, like I say, July 4th. I hope you guys enjoy the fireworks tonight, and catch you guys later on.